Hello everyone, let's talk about Evil Twin attack with Captive Portal. So, we can't crack hash all the time. Evil Twin attacks captures handshake hash. It creates fake AP. Also, it performs death attack on original network. User connects to fake AP, there will be a prompt sign in to the Wi-Fi and asks for password, verifies the hash with the password entered. So first open terminal, Linux terminal, and rooted, make sure it rooted, and give command if config. So what is an evil twin attack? An evil twin attack is a spoofing cyber attack that works by tricking users into connecting to a fake Wi-Fi access point that mimics a legitimate network. Once a user is connected to an evil twin network, hackers can access everything from their network traffic to private login credentials. Give command apt install argjdon c to install this package in your Kali machine. Tibbo, then give command argjdon open another terminal. Evil twin attacks get their name from their ability to imitate legitimate Wi-Fi networks to the extent that they are indistinguishable from one another. This type of attacks is particularly dangerous because it can be nearly impossible to identify, read onto user data. An evil twin attack works. You guys can create DOS attack handshake tools, even to evil twin attacks, WPS attacks, WEP attacks, enterprise attacks by this AirJDon. How an evil twin attack works. The most dangerous evil twin attacks work by tricking victims into thinking that they are connecting to a reliable public Wi-Fi network. To make the attack as believable as possible, hackers typically use the steps like choosing a location with free Wi-Fi. Hackers choose a busy location with free popular Wi-Fi like an airport, library, or coffee shop to execute their attack. These places often have multiple access points with the same name, making it easier for a hacker's fake network to go unnoticed. And step 2, setting up a Wi-Fi access point. Next, the hacker creates a new hotspot using the same name, service set identifier SSID name as the legitimate network. They can use almost any device to do this, including phones, laptops, portable routers, and tables. Some hackers may even use a Wi-Fi pineapple to achieve a broader range. And step 3 is creating a fake captive portal. If you have ever logged into a public Wi-Fi network, you probably encountered a captive portal page. These typically require you to enter a password or other basic information to access the network. While many legitimate networks use these, hackers can easily replicate them to trick users into sending over their login information. Unfortunately, it can be nearly impossible to tell the difference between legitimate and fake captive portal page if the hacker knows that they are doing. And after this, step 4 is setting up closer to potential victims. Once a hacker has finished setting up the evil twin access point and fake captive portal page, they may move their device or router closer to potential victims to create stronger signals, and this convince people to choose their network over the weaker ones and forces some devices to connect automatically. And step 5, monitoring and stealing user data. Once a victim has connected their device to an evil twin network, the hacker can monitor everything they do online, from scrolling through social media accounts to checking bank statements. If a user logs into any of their accounts while connected to the network, the hacker can collect their login credentials. This is especially dangerous if the user uses the same credentials for multiple sensitive accounts. Two windows will be opened, one with the handshake capturer and other with the attack to force clients to reconnect. So, in this situation, don't close any window manually. Script will do when needed in about 20 seconds maximum. This is the procedure. So cybersecurity risks, evil twin attacks propose a significant cybersecurity risks for both end users and business. And protect yourself from an evil twin attack. You can take to protect yourself when connecting to public Wi-Fi networks. The easiest way to protect yourself from an evil twin attack is to use a personal hotspot instead of public Wi-Fi whenever possible, and this encourages that you always connect to a reliable network in public spaces and prevents hackers from accessing your data. And about unsecured Wi-Fi hotspot and disable auto connect. Never log into private accounts on public Wi-Fi. Use a VPN to encrypt traffic. Stick to HTTPS website. Use two-factor authentication. And what to do if you fall victim to an attack? If you discover that a hacker has breached your data through an evil twin attack, you can file a complaint with Consumer Complaint Center. You should also contact your local police department and bank or credit card company. And it is just one method that hackers use to gain access to sensitive information online. So that's it, guys. Hope you guys liked it, and thanks for watching. Attack. Attacks can be difficult to identify, but there are multiple steps. Hello everyone, let's talk about creating fake captive portals. A captive a captive portal, a web page is encountered that requires certain actions before internet access is granted. A simple captive portal forces the user to at least look at, if not read, an acceptable user use policy AUF page, and then click on a button indicating agreement to the terms of the policy. Presumably, this can help absolve the provider from liability in the event the user commits criminal or other destructive activity while logged on. In some captive portals, advertisements for the provider's sponsors are displayed, and the user must click through them or close the windows in which they appear before accessing the internet. Some captive portals require the entry of a pre-assigned user ID and password before accessing the internet. Such authentication may discourage the use of wireless hotspots as sites for carrying and criminal activities. Most servers with captive portals include antivirus and firewall programs to help protected users. So, with captive portal authentication provides an easy point of entry for malicious actors looking to gain entry to a guest user's device and through that the larger corporate network. The fact that users' devices must automatically lead the captive portal web page and the associated JavaScript directly on their device before accessing the internet means that they are essentially putting their security in the hands of the network administrators who manage the particular public Wi-Fi network. If the network has already been hacked or they are running firewalls or other network equipment that is vulnerable, you are essentially giving hackers a direct access to your laptop, tablet, or smartphone. When you load that captive portal login page, this kind of access point can hack. For example, there have been a number of campaigns, including Dark Hotel, was the first uncovered by Kaspersky Labs, and a vulnerability in Get routers discovered by Cyclone, which was used to target guests at high-end business hotels. However, malicious actors have hacked into networks of hotel chains, thereby gaining access to the wireless networks the hotels provide. This makes it easy for them to access the devices of hotel guests. As soon as the guest connects to the network, the malicious actors are waiting. They still have to find a known exploit or 0 day, but they don't have to go through a VPN or firewall because all of that isn't even up yet. In addition, it is relatively easy for hackers to create their own Wi-Fi hotspot that spoof legitimate captive portals. These phony pages, known as evil twins, trick users into connecting them and then. So now let's check this in Linux. Kali Linux root terminal. Just give command nano hotspot dot config and host apd root host apd dot config minus b, and configuration file is showing. Now give command cd var. A captive portal is, for example, a public Wi-Fi network names ESS which leads to an internet connection which redirects all traffic to a specific login pages until you log in the system. Typical applications are hotel, airport, park, free Wi-Fi. Captive portals disadvantages also, and this is messing up with networking transparency through redirecting DNS and HTTP. All users can usually see your encrypted traffic and possibly redirect your logging to. WPA based authentication is much better but is often seen as more complicated for the end user compared to captive portals and require pre-arranged authentication. There is work in process for standardizing the captive portal protocols. Now give command var www.html AI replay ng -0 a and the t shark -I. So how the captive portal's login is activated? So what is captive portal isolation? Captive portal isolation involves the use of a combination firewall and hardware VPN with a built-in stateless sandboxed web browser. It works as follows: the user connects via Wi-Fi or Ethernet to the hardware VPN. Then they then use the hardware VPN to connect to the internet. The stateless sandboxed web browser that is built into the hardware VPN is actually what loads to the captive portal, and it then presents a screen capture of the captive portal on the user's device. So automated login for captive portals in Linux. Every time you connect to a provide private network, may it be your college, office, school, etc., the captive portal screen appears where you have to enter your credentials provided by the organization, and the idea is to automate that process so that whenever you are connected to any router in the same network, it automatically gets logged in. So this is it guys, so hope you guys liked it, and thanks for watching.